All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome, Patreon entrants, to the Orchestration Challenge number 1, Ravel. Okay, so we are about to watch a whole slew of videos, 18 videos in all, which I will be releasing today and tomorrow. And these will be released on Patreon, on the feed, and I'll talk a little bit about follow-up and releasing it publicly in a minute. But our first video is just going to talk about the criteria and about what to expect if you are a Patreon entrant or you are just watching this and you are a member of the Patreon community over there. You know, if you're a supporter and you're just sort of following along. And I'm releasing this as a separate video just so, you know, I don't have to go over it over and over again on every video about what to expect. This will just save some time. All right? So you are about to watch a series of individual videos. They're going to be about 20 to 30 minutes long each, maybe spill over even a bit more at that, depending on if I have a lot to say. Okay, so scoring comments. Basically just looking at how the orchestration has been put together, how it compares to the source document, our Ravel score, Ravel piano score, and what's the level of preparation? Okay, that is going to be sort of how ready your score is to being put on the stands. Do you know what I mean? Being passed out by the orchestra librarian. Of course, you don't have to have your parts prepared in your score, but you know, is your score something that just could easily be played, or you know, how much more work does it need? Then, of course, comments on texture, balance, and function. You know, and I mean, in some ways, the function of each part is already worked out by the source score itself. However, you may be adding functions to it. You know, I've seen many scores that have more harmony than is in the original piano part. And of course, questions of balance are really, you know, paramount. Is the meaning of the work going to come through with the way that you have your dynamics laid out? And then, of course, we've got texture. And that is really, you know, our huge obsession, isn't it? Now, something that I don't mention here is that in our video analyses, I'm going to be running each score's mock-up that has been supplied by each entrant, right? So you can sort of listen to it, watch it, and check it out, just like you could with, say, one of my orchestration lessons where I've scored something, for your enjoyment. So yeah, so it's going to be the same thing like that, almost as if I were doing a separate video lesson on each score. Although, you know, not quite as intense. You know, I'm not going to be laying things out with separate colors or whatever. I'm just going to be commenting sort of off the cuff on the screen like this. Okay, so now what to expect? What to do? Okay, so the first thing is, it would be great if each participant watched all of the 18 videos. Watch your video and those of other participants, right? So, 20 to 30 minutes long, that's going to be about maybe 8 or 9 hours worth of videos, but just pace them out over the next few days or next week or two. And, just please keep coming back to the Patreon feed and adding comments, right? Comment on each other's scores with feedback and support. I would really like you to help out your fellow supporter on Patreon, even if it's just to say, hey, I liked your score, or hey, I thought that part, at bar 67 was really awesome. And if you see something that I missed, something you feel the other entrant should know, then just, comment in, under their video. All right. And some of these analyses, hopefully, are going to be shared on Facebook and YouTube publicly. So, let me know if you want that. See, I wasn't really expecting this. You guys are always sort of improving things for me, or sort of showing me what's possible on social media that I'm just really not thinking of, or kind of showing me what you really want that I may not have thought of. And what you showed me this time was that you wanted people to comment on your scores and your stuff, on Facebook. So a lot of Patreon entrants took their score and posted it up there and got comments, and I think that that's really great. So if you want to share your video publicly on Facebook and YouTube, just let me know, and what I'll do is I will just make it a public video, and I'll post it myself. So anybody who wants to do that, just let me know, like either with a email, or just let me know in the comments of your video on Patreon, and and I'll just I think I'll put everything on like one big playlist once I know everybody who wants to share their video, and I'll just share that big playlist, as something people can watch. Okay, so just like before, despite the fact that I'm going to be giving everybody extensive comments, there might still be issues that I don't have time to address. It's just the way of things, I mean, I could get atomic with my analysis of each score, but, I would still miss some things, and that's why it would be great to hear feedback from other participants if they see something, right? And then last thing is, be aware that there are no follow-ups. I just really, this is taking a huge amount of my time, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it, frankly. There's no resentment whatsoever, but I just don't have time to look at people's scores once they've edited them. Like if you said, oh, this was really awesome, now I want to make my score perfect, and I want Thomas to tell me that it's perfect now, or give me further feedback, I just will not have time to do that, right? But I feel that everybody is already getting a pretty good attention with their own separate video, and everything else, all the other comments that I'm going to be giving you, right? So that's all I wanted to say about these criteria for the Patreon entrants, the Patreon entries into this challenge. So thanks everybody so much for your support and for entering this challenge, and people who are watching out there who did not enter, please consider doing it next time it comes around. I think in about 2 to 3 months. We have to get through the holidays first, right? But after the holidays have come and gone and the right time presents itself before I'm about to do something else big next year, we'll do another challenge, all right? So thanks all. Now let's watch the Patreon scores.